The dense jungles and rugged coastline of the Huon Peninsula bore witness to one of the most intense and decisive campaigns of the Pacific War. The Huon Peninsula Offensive, waged between September 1943 and March 1944, was a crucial part of the Allied push to expel Japanese forces from New Guinea and gain strategic superiority in the Southwest Pacific. This campaign not only demonstrated the resilience of Australian forces but also marked a significant turning point in the fight against Imperial Japan. Prelude to the offensive. Following the fall of La and Salamaua in September 1943, the Allies set their sights on the remaining Japanese positions along the Huon Peninsula. The region was of immense strategic importance, serving as a key defensive stronghold for Japan's South Pacific operations. The Japanese 18th Army, under General Hatazo Adachi, was determined to hold its ground despite the growing strength of the Allied advance. General Douglas MacArthur and Australian commanders devised a bold plan to launch a series of amphibious landings and jungle assaults to push the Japanese out of the Huon Peninsula, eventually isolating them from reinforcements in western New Guinea. The task would be carried out primarily by the Australian 9th Division, supported by American naval and air power. The landing at Finschhafen. The offensive began on September 22, 1943, with an amphibious landing at Finschhafen, a vital coastal town and supply hub. The Australian 20th Brigade stormed the beaches under intense Japanese fire. The enemy, well entrenched in defensive positions, mounted a fierce resistance, but the Australians pressed forward with determination. By October 2, the town of Finschhafen had fallen, but the battle was far from over. The Japanese launched a ferocious counteroffensive on October 16, aiming to retake the town. In what became known as the Battle of Saddleburg, Australian forces, supported by heavy artillery and airstrikes, held their ground against repeated assaults. By November 25, the strategic heights of Saddleburg had been secured, breaking the backbone of the Japanese resistance in the area. The drive towards Fortification Point. With Finschhafen secured, the next phase of the offensive focused on clearing the coastal region between Langmak Bay and Fortification Point. The Australians, advancing through treacherous jungle terrain, encountered sporadic but determined Japanese resistance. By December 1943, the Allies had pushed deep into Japanese-held territory. The capture of Wario, a crucial enemy supply base, further crippled the Japanese ability to resist. Australian troops endured extreme conditions, battling monsoons, disease and rugged landscapes while maintaining relentless pressure on the enemy. Final clashes and Japanese retreat. By early 1944, the Japanese position in the Huon Peninsula had become untenable. Facing dwindling supplies and mounting casualties, they began a gradual withdrawal towards Sayo and Madong. The Australians pursued them relentlessly, engaging in a series of battles along the coast. On January 15, 1944, Australian troops entered Sayo, marking the completion of the main objectives of the campaign. As the Japanese withdrew further west, the Allies continued their advance, linking up with U.S. forces advancing from the east. By March 1944, the Huon Peninsula was firmly under Allied control, marking another decisive step in the campaign to reclaim New Guinea from Japanese occupation. Aftermath and significance. The Huon Peninsula offensive was a critical success for the Allies. It not only eliminated a major Japanese foothold in New Guinea but also paved the way for the next phase of the Pacific Campaign, including operations in the Bismarck Archipelago and the Philippines. The victory underscored the effectiveness of coordinated amphibious, air and land operations, setting the stage for future island-hopping campaigns. It also demonstrated the exceptional resilience and tactical skill of Australian forces, who fought under some of the most challenging conditions of the war. The Huon Peninsula offensive was more than a battle. It was a testament to the relentless determination of the Allied forces in their march towards victory in the Pacific War.